welcome to E-Town News, जहां आपको मिलेगा डेली डोज ऑफ बॉलीवुड न्यूज, फैशन ट्रेंड्स, टीवी एंड सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हर अपडेट. A show which gives you the day's lowdown of all the best happenings in the world of glamour. तो इंतजार किस बात का? Let's take a look at today's headlines. क्या टाइगर फ्रेंचाइज की थर्ड इंस्टॉलमेंट के लिए सलमान खान चार्ज कर रहे हैं 100 करोड़? शुरू हुई मिहिका बजाज और राणा दागुबाती की वेडिंग प्रेपरेशंस. कुणाल खेमू ने जूम से की कैंडिड कॉन्वर्सेशन. सलमान खान अप्रॉक्सिमेटली 350 करोड़ की बजट की एक फिल्म पर करेंगे काम. सलमान खान इस फिल्म के लिए ले सकते हैं 100 करोड़ की फीस और ये फिल्म होगी सलमान खान की ब्लॉकबस्टर टाइगर फ्रेंचाइज की. रिपोर्ट्स आ रही हैं कि यश राज फिल्म सलमान खान की टाइगर फ्रेंचाइज को नेक्स्ट लेवल पर लेकर जाने की तैयारी में है और इस फिल्म को अप्रॉक्सिमेटली 350 करोड़ के बजट में बनाया जाएगा और मनीष शर्मा इस फिल्म को डायरेक्ट कर सकते हैं. इस फिल्म से जुड़े एक सोर्स का कहना है, The cost of production of Tiger 3 is going to be in range of rupees 200 to 225 crores, which is the biggest for a Hindi film till date. There will also be the usual additional burden of print and publicity of approximately rupees 20 to 25 crores. In all, his association with YRF, Salman has taken away around rupees 100 crores as acting fees. Depending on the magnitude of profits, and Tiger 3 will be no different. वैसे सोर्सेस का कहना है कि फिल्म के मेकर्स और सलमान खान इस हाई बजट को लेकर जरा भी परेशान नहीं है, क्योंकि टाइगर फ्रेंचाइज की फिल्म्स को अब तक फैंस का जबरदस्त रिस्पांस मिला है. सोर्सेस का इस डेवलपमेंट पर कहना है, but they are not worried about the returns. The idea is to breach the rupees 400 crore club this time around, as the Tiger Zinda Hai created havoc by earning rupees 339.16 crores in India. Interestingly, the budget of Tiger Zinda Hai was rupees 150 crores excluding Salman's fees, while Ek Tha Tiger was around rupees 60 crores excluding Salman's fees. वैसे ये अब तक की यश राज फिल्म्स की सबसे बड़ी फिल्म बन सकती है. इससे पहले थग्स ऑफ हिंदुस्तान यश राज की सबसे बड़ी फिल्म थी, जिस पर अप्रॉक्सिमेटली 240 करोड़ रुपीस खर्च किए गए थे, इंक्लूडिंग फीस ऑफ अमिताभ बच्चन एंड आमिर खान. सोर्सेज ने ये भी रिवील किया है कि सलमान खान किस तरह इस फिल्म को आदित्य चोपड़ा के साथ मिलकर नेक्स्ट लेवल पर ले जा रहे हैं. Tiger is the biggest franchise for YRF alongside Dhoom, and Adi Chopra is leaving no stone unturned to mount them on a scale that sets new heights for action films in India. Tiger will be shot across the globe in 6 to 7 countries with action by an international stunt team. The work on the script is in progress for the last 2 years with in-house YRF writers headed by Aditya Chopra. And the ones who have heard of it say that it's the best among all 3 Tiger films till date. वैसे इस फिल्म के लिए शुरुआत में डायरेक्टर अली अब्बास जफर और कबीर खान का नाम भी सामने आया था, लेकिन आदित्य चोपड़ा और सलमान खान को मनीष शर्मा का आइडिया ज्यादा पसंद आया. सोर्सेस का कहना है, yes, Ali had an idea in place for Tiger 3 and there was also a thought of getting Kabir back. But eventually, after initial conversations with the two, it was Manish Sharma who bagged the biggie. His vision for the franchise matches that of Adi Chopra and Salman Khan, and he is all charged up to direct the superstar along with Katrina Kaif in this franchise. According to reports, the film will be announced as a part of Yash Raj Films' 50th year celebration. मिहिका बजाज और राणा दागुबाती की शादी के रिचुअल्स हो गए हैं शुरू और सोशल मीडिया पर ब्राइड मिहिका बजाज के ये रैविशिंग पिक्चर्स हो रहे हैं वायरल. ये पिक्चर्स हैं मिहिका के हल्दी सेरेमनी की, जिसमें राणा दागुबाती की फैमिली और मिहिका की फैमिली शामिल हुई. Mihika Bajaj looked drop-dead gorgeous at her haldi ceremony ahead of her wedding with Rana Daggubati. She chose a bright yellow lehenga with green patchwork on her blouse. She wore seashell jewelry and left her hair loose for the occasion. Mihika's residence in Jubilee Hills in Hyderabad was buzzing with people. Sources के अकॉर्डिंग मिहिका के घर को तो उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स ने अच्छी तरह से सजाया ही है। मिहिका के घर की तरफ लीड करने वाले रोड को व्हाइट और येलो फ्लावर्स से सजाया गया है एंड ये पूरा माहौल किसी बड़े सेलिब्रेशन से कम नहीं लग रहा। रिपोर्ट्स के मुताबिक सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और रूल्स को फॉलो करके मिहिका बजाज और राणा दागुबाती की फैमिली ने तैयारी की है और स्पेशल स्टाफ इस बात का ख्याल रखेंगे कि अच्छी तरह से रूल्स को फॉलो किया जाए। राणा दागुबाती के फादर ने अपने एक इंटरव्यू में गेस्ट्स और फैमिली मेंबर्स की सेफ्टी को लेकर कहा, Everybody who will attend the wedding will get tested for virus. We will also keep sanitizers across the venue and maintain social distancing. It's a happy occasion and we want to make it a safe one too. Well, Rana और मिहिका 8 अगस्त को शादी के बंधन में बंध जाएंगे and they both are super excited as the rituals of their wedding begin. Sources के मुताबिक राणा और मिहिका की शादी एक इंटीमेट अफेयर होगी with just 30 people in attendance. The wedding will be biosecure and will have a special theme. Sources का ये भी कहना है कि राणा और मिहिका की शादी तेलुगु और मारवाड़ी ट्रेडिशंस के साथ होगी। कुछ समय पहले राणा दागुबाती ने मिहिका बजाज के साथ अपनी शादी को लेकर एक इंटरव्यू में कहा था, I think I'm growing up and it's time to get married. My fiancé Mihika lives 3 kilometers away from my house and we are in the same vicinity. Sometimes you know when things are going smoothly and I don't question it when things are going correctly. She's lovely and we make a great pair. We draw positive energy from one another. I'm getting married on August 8th. On the personal front, it's been the best time of my life. Getting married to Mihika, it's been pretty awesome. Well, इस पैंडेमिक के बीच राणा और मिहिका की शादी है डेफिनेटली एक सुपर डुपर न्यूज एंड वी विल कीप यू अपडेटेड विद ऑल द सेलिब्रेशन।
लेटेस्ट अपडेट इन सुशांत सिंह राजपूत केस। टाइम्स नाउ ने एक्सेस किए हैं सुशांत के कॉल डेटा रिकॉर्ड्स। यस, सुशांत सिंह राजपूत के कॉल और एसएमएस डेटा रिकॉर्ड से काफी नई इंफॉर्मेशन सामने आ रही है। सबसे पहले लेट मी टेल यू दैट फ्रॉम जून 8 टू जून 14 सुशांत और रिया चक्रवर्ती के बीच एक भी कॉल या एसएमएस एक्सचेंज नहीं हुआ था। Yes, this is the information that is coming from the call records of Sushant. In fact, सुशांत और उनकी सिस्टर के बीच कॉल एक्सचेंज हुए थे। सुशांत और उनके टैलेंट मैनेजर के बीच कॉल एक्सचेंज हुए थे। But in these last 6 days of Sushant, there were no calls that were exchanged between him and Riya Chakraborty, who has claimed to be Sushant's girlfriend. अब मैं आपको ये बता दूं that Sushant died on June 14th. And according to the investigations, Riya Chakraborty left his house on June 8th. So this means that from the day that she left Sushant's house to the day that Sushant died, there was no communication between Sushant and Riya over calls or messages. Now it's also worth noticing that Sushant की जो former manager है Disha Salim, she also died on June 8th. On the other hand, the tussle between Mumbai police and Bihar police has taken a new turn now. Bihar police officer Vinay Tiwari को मुंबई में BMC officers ने क्वारंटाइन कर दिया था when he came from Bihar for the investigation in Sushant's case. और आज बिहार के DGP ऑफिसर का ये बयान आया है।
वो भी क्वारंटीन है, मतलब हाउस अरेस्ट ही एक तरह से है ये। अब सवाल है कि इसके बाद क्या करना है, तो हम अपने सरकार को ये बता दिए हैं। महाधिवक्ता से आज राय लेंगे, उसके बाद में आज भर और इंतजार करेंगे। उसके बाद हम लोग कल ये तय करेंगे कि क्या करना है। कोर्ट भी जा सकते हैं, एक ऑप्शन वो भी है, लेकिन ये तय करेंगे आज भर इंतजार करने के बाद और महाधिवक्ता से राय लेने के बाद।
Amidst all this, there's also a statement that has come from Riya Chakraborty's lawyer, Satish Maneshinde. Firstly, let's take a look at what he has said to all the reports that were saying that Riya Chakraborty is absconding and missing. उन्होंने कहा है, I would request all concerned to stop speculating about the whereabouts of Riya Chakraborty. She is a law-abiding citizen. The matter is sub judice. Adding to this, he has also said the Bihar government has already transferred the case in which they have no jurisdiction to investigate. Once the case having left Bihar, Bihar police have no concern in the case. The Solicitor General of India was present before the Supreme Court today on behalf of CBI and submitted that the notification would be issued today. Till the matter is heard in the next week, the CBI, being a premier agency, is aware of its powers that need to be exercised in a pending matter before the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the 4 Bihar police officers who had come from Patna to investigate in Sushant's case have returned back to Patna after CBI took over the case yesterday.
Welcome to Speak Easy. My name is Rudrani, and today I'll be in conversation with a person who's always been like the coolest guy I know. And almost feels like he's always in a Zen mode. Besides being extremely talented and very, very slowly and quietly doing all kinds of work, I'm going to find out a little more about Kunal Khemu today. Kunal, so you'll have to help me finding out a little more about you.
Yeah, but that's a lovely introduction that you gave me. But I have to say that don't be fooled by the calm on the surface of the ocean. Actually, I feel that the storm always starts from within, right? And there is, as a kid, I used to be very angry, and I remember people telling me, burn your anger before anger burns you. So I've realized that, every time when you're in the middle of something, it's not the most wise thing to talk about it there and then. You need time to understand, walk away from it and see where it is. And then you'll be in a better place to have a dialogue or put your point across. More often than not, when you're dealing with something mentally and your anger, then that's when they say, oh, you're having a tantrum, or get a hold of yourself. So I think I've only spoken about things, or I've been seen outside when I have dealt with it. But those times when you're dealing with it is when the drama happens.
Patience is a quality that a lot of actors need to have to even survive in the industry. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kunal, and I think you have lots of it.
Yes, I think so. I've learned that. I'm not consciously aware of it in the moment, but when I look back, I think I do have a lot of it.
Talking about patience and coming to, of course, the film that is about to be released.
Talking of patience. Very well linked.
Loot Case. So I remember last year, semi-promotion that happened, almost more than semi actually. A lot of promotions already happened. You all were almost on the verge of releasing the film. Then, of course, I think the decision taken by your production house or the people who were handling that bit of it decided that it wasn't the right time because there were bigger films around that time and they suddenly want to postpone it further. This year, of course, I don't know what to call this year at all. It's changed everybody's game plans, and you all plan to release it again. And then, of course, COVID-19 struck and everything changed and you all again pushed it further. And then, of course, announcement of the final release, on OTT. So tell me, how was this entire journey? How do you look at it? And what really happened?
I actually look at it like sitting on a roller coaster. And for the first time, when you don't know how many ups and downs and twists and turns and all of that's going to be there. But, honestly, Rudrani, I think there are things that I can say that I'm, if not an expert, I know. And then there are things that I can only gauge by what is told to me. In the case of Loot Case, of course, all of us were very excited and looking forward to that release. And then something happened, which again, it's not a decision that it's in our hand, right? It's as simple as saying that when you're doing a film, you can only do your part and then hope that every other department kind of fires to their best so that you have a film that looks good, because not necessarily a film that reads good is acted well, and not necessarily a film that's acted well is directed well, or is edited well, promoted well, distributed well. So it's so many things, right? And that's where you have to understand that you're merely a spare part who's integral to it, but it's not the whole car. Now, when it comes to a release, I think the only person who can answer it honestly is the studio or the producer who's backing that film. We looked at it in a way that we were ready to go, we were ready to run that race, and then suddenly we were kind of pulled out of it for whatever reasons. I mean, I've heard 10 different things, but like I said, the right person to answer is the studio. And then began this wait. And then, of course, there was a date that was looked at. I think somewhere in April they plan to bring it back again. Because again, when I talked about this whole thing of asking for an equal playing field and like having a level playing ground, it was not just to say opportunity-wise as an actor. It's also opportunity-wise for a film. Because a lot of times you have to fight for that space, that release date, the number of shows, the number of screens, the kind of screens, the territories, and like that's a different business and ball game altogether. And sometimes what happens is there are films that pick a date and they're big, so nobody kind of comes at that point of time, but then they suddenly something happens and they decide to change it, and then everything kind of gets rattled and like all the releases have to be pushed, and that's where a lot of muscle strength comes into play, and sometimes it's unfair. So having said that, so anyways, so after that we had to wait to find another release date that could kind of make sense for everybody involved, sometime in April. And then again, obviously 2020 happened and nobody knows what happened, and all the plans got disposed. All like people did not know. I mean, we still don't know how long this is going to last or when is the end in sight and vaccine and all of that. So obviously, I mean, everybody has to survive, and when it comes to survival, new things, new adjustments, new modifications are made. So here we are at the time where bigger films and all kinds of films are looking at a OTT release, and Loot Case luckily happens to be the one of the very few first ones. And right now, even though it steals us from ever knowing what this film could do at a box office, which is very important for an actor and a director, because our future in the business is kind of determined every Friday on the basis of a report card that we get at a box office. And also a personal, the passion-driven emotion of sitting in a theater and watching a film like this with a crowd full of people. There's a different energy when you watch a film like that, and you whistle and you hoot and you laugh, especially because this film was made with the mindset of a theatrical release. So we'll miss that. But at the same time, I really feel that it is one of those things that in this turbulent time, with everything that's happening around us, here is a film that I know will make you laugh. You can watch with your entire family, and at least for the 2 hours, maybe we can take that stress away from you, bring a smile to your face, tickle you a little bit. So we'll do with that. I think OTT has been a boon. I mean, it started as a bubble. Nobody knew what would happen, what it was. It's been a boon for so much content that's come out. Like, I'm so proud of some of the content that's come out of India in the last 3 years, that I did not know who these actors were. I did not know who these writers were. I did not know the directors that have done some of this phenomenal work, which we would have never seen. And it's taken off a lot of pressure when you make for digital films. When you make a film, it's no longer driven by that business. You don't really need to get a star to be able to make a film like that, or you don't need to make a certain kind of a film so that it will find an audience. Now you can find that audience because here is a place where a big film, a small film, an interesting film, and a parallel cinema film, all of them are on the same shelf, in the same menu, and I can decide to choose and see whatever I want.
I agree with you. But on the other side also, Kunal, there is what you pointed out, the truth. While we have the beauty of this becoming that platform where you would not only look at actors who are very popular or big stars, you see, and you were hoping the star system would not creep into here. But that did sort of happen with what happened to you all. I don't remember the last time I really heard you put something out. I feel as a person, you've been dealing with stuff and you're like, it's okay, I'll let my work do the talking. For someone like you to put that out obviously is proof that you were really hurt. And why not? Because, you have an Akshay Kumar film, you have a Alia Bhatt representing a film, and, while Varun Dhawan is coordinating it, Varun is almost representing and saying a line for your film, whereas you as the main lead, you, Rasika, the entire team, there was no representation there. And that gives you an insight as to how even this OTT platform, which was supposed to be, like you said earlier, a ground where everybody had equal opportunities, outsider, insider, whatever you want to say it, that is not going to happen though. Tell me what is going through your mind about that incident and how there is a fear of this happening right here, which a lot of people have been complaining happens with the industry.
Sure. I really feel that at some point the movie industry was also built on the basis of content, right? Because it's a habit that you formed. I think OTT platforms are now, it took them 3 years. Now it's a habit that is formed. We go to these platforms and we look forward to what they have. We wouldn't have gone there. The film industry has existed way before I was born. I became a part of it. So it's bigger than me. It's bigger than what I have. The OTT platform is considerably new. And like you said, it is a content-driven platform. For me, honestly, I was not aware of this, the press conference that happened. And more than hurt, it was just one of those things that, why am I not, forget me, why doesn't my film have a representation? I don't know where that decision got taken. I do not like to try and pick villains because I know it's not one person. I don't know, it's a mindset, it's a system. And for me, what was important is the OTT platform has happened in my lifetime. I have a show on an OTT platform. This is my first film. It's very important for me to voice it to whoever that person is without saying that I hate you. It's me saying that, listen, man, I cannot ask for this, but give me this platform. Don't change that.
Coming up on the show, क्या दिशा पाटनी के father pandemic-related virus से हुए infected? क्या एक्टर दिशा पाटनी के फादर जगदीश पाटनी पैंडेमिक-रिलेटेड वायरस से हुए infected? रिपोर्ट्स के मुताबिक यूपी के विजिलेंट डिपार्टमेंट में काम करने वाले दिशा के डैडी डेप्यूटी एसपी जगदीश पाटनी का वायरस टेस्ट पॉजिटिव आया है और उनके साथ काम करने वाले 2 ऑफिसर्स भी पॉजिटिव पाए गए हैं। हालांकि दिशा पाटनी के स्पोक्सपर्सन ने इन रिपोर्ट्स को गलत बताते हुए कहा है he is fine and squashed all such reports of him testing positive for the virus. इससे पहले रणबीर कपूर की सिस्टर रिद्धिमा कपूर ने भी उन रिपोर्ट्स को गलत बताया था जिनमें रणबीर कपूर और नीतू कपूर के वायरस से पॉजिटिव होने की बात कही गई थी। दरअसल तब बच्चन फैमिली के पॉजिटिव होने की रिपोर्ट्स आई थीं और उसी के कुछ दिन पहले ही अमिताभ बच्चन के ग्रैंडसन अगस्त्य नंदा को नीतू कपूर की बर्थडे पार्टी में देखा गया था। हाल ही में लगभग पूरी बच्चन फैमिली इस वायरस से इन्फेक्ट होकर हॉस्पिटल पहुंच गई थी, जहां से रिकवर होकर अमिताभ बच्चन, ऐश्वर्या राय बच्चन और आराध्या बच्चन तो लौट आए हैं, लेकिन अभिषेक बच्चन का अभी भी हॉस्पिटल में इलाज चल रहा है। पूरी बच्चन फैमिली अभिषेक की हालत को लेकर थोड़ी परेशान जरूर है, लेकिन उन्हें पूरा भरोसा है कि वो जल्द रिकवर कर जाएंगे। बिग बी ने सोशल मीडिया पर अभिषेक को इंस्पायर करने के लिए एक पोस्ट भी डाला, जिसमें उन्होंने अपनी फिल्म अग्निपथ का एक फेमस डायलॉग लिखा। बिग बी ने अभिषेक के साथ अपनी पिक पोस्ट करते हुए लिखा, तू ना रुके कभी, तू ना मुड़े कभी, तू ना झुकेगा कभी, कर शपथ, कर शपथ, कर शपथ, अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ। वहीं अभिषेक की सिस्टर श्वेता नंदा ने भी अपने भाई के हौसले को बढ़ाया with a sweet post और उन्होंने लिखा, could not have asked for a better brother or devoted sidekick. Love you. Been so long I'm missing your lectures. Get well, get back home. श्वेता के इस इमोशनल पोस्ट पर अभिषेक बच्चन ने एक फनी रिप्लाई भी पोस्ट करते हुए लिखा, Be careful what you wish for. Love you. जिस पर श्वेता बच्चन ने रिप्लाई किया, I will take my chances. Well, ये brother sister की bonding है such positive thing to watch on the internet.